There has only been one series that has been considered legendary. It's The Legend of Zelda. Every official Zelda game is not only a good game, but a great game. The reason is because Nintendo makes sure that the story is good, the gameplay is polished, the puzzles, controls, etc., etc. They will make sure it is a masterpiece before it's released. They've been working on Skyward Sword for 5 long years, making sure that they have a legendary masterpiece to accompany the already amazing series. Since Skyward Sword is being released today, I decided to make a list of the top 10 Zelda games of all time. This list was very difficult as there is really not a bad game in the series, and this list is based on game reviews, fan favorites, gameplay, and most of all the impact it gave the series as a whole. So here it is, the list of the top 10 Zelda games of all time. At number 10, The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. In 2009, Spirit Tracks was released, making it the second Zelda game to be released on the Nintendo DS. The story takes place after Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass, where their ancestors had found a new kingdom. The land was ruled by the spirits of good, which had sealed the evil force, but with the Spirit Tracks disappearing, it is up to our hero to restore those tracks. The controls were all touchscreen, the terrain was actually not boring, and they had a lot of clever puzzles. Choo-choo! Choo-choo-choo-choo-choo. At number 9, The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. Capcom was in charge of Zelda for the first time, and they managed to spit out 2 of the most complex but fun Zelda games for the Game Boy Color. Oracle of Seasons was well received because of all the clever puzzles in the game. You had to go back and forth through the seasons to save the world from the crazy bipolar weather changes, and to save Din from the evildoers. For a Game Boy title, it had a lot to do, and I would recommend it for any Zelda fan that hasn't played it. At number 8, The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap. The Four Swords storyline has always been a fun one, but this prequel was the best out of the bunch. Released on the Game Boy Advance, it took A Link to the Past, Wind Waker, and Link's Awakening and had a 3-way love child to create one creative game. Throughout the quest, you would grow from normal size to minish size in order to solve some unique puzzles. This probably goes for any game on the list, but if you haven't played this game, what the hell are you waiting for? Number 7, The Legend of Zelda. It's the original. 25 years ago, 1986, a legend was born. Everything about this game was legendary, to the vast overworlds, to the dungeons that you have to not only find but explore, to the detailed map that you find in the game box, and the unmatched gameplay of this game. This game came out in a day where there was only 2D side-strollers and arcade games. The game was gold for God's sake. Seeing that gold cartridge for the first time before even playing the game made you realize that you were about to play a legend. At 6, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Out of boredness, Link decided to sail the sea, but during a storm that had knocked him unconscious. He awoke on a strange island and his first adventure on a handheld. Awake the windfish he must, but not before he embarks in the most craziest adventure yet. The transformation to Game Boy you would think would be a hard one, but they made this game just as good as A Link to the Past. The items were fantastic and the gameplay of course was awesome. The only problem now is, how the hell does Link get home? At number 5, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Here we are, the top 5. Any of these games can be put in any order and would still be considered an accurate list. In simple terms, Twilight Princess is Ocarina of Time times 10. Everything that was in Ocarina of Time is in Twilight Princess, but just more polished. It wasn't as innovative as the other Zeldas, but it polished and outdid everything Zelda was about. The story was fantastic, the gameplay was solid, and you wanted to strangle Midna throughout the game. This was a masterpiece. The only thing I wish is that they made the game a little bit harder because the bosses only took a quarter of a heart away. Lame. Number 4, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. Who would have thought back in the day that we would have a Zelda game where the overworld was covered in water? It had a unique cel-shaded look that showed us what Zelda would look like if it was a cartoon. The story was top-notch in this game, arguably the best of the series. The mood, the visuals, the characters, etc. There is nothing bad to say about this game. It proved that you can't judge a book by its cover. Cartoon or not, this game is f***ing awesome. At number 3, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. In my personal list, this is my second favorite Zelda game because of how alive this game is. The mood in this game is surreal. It is dark, it is sad, it is the most mature Zelda game to date. And the side quest, unbelievable. Everyone and everything in this game is interacting with each other. When you do a side quest, it actually means something. You just don't get a silly ruby, you get a mask. The gameplay is amplified by 100% because of the different masks you get. The only downside to the game was that there was only 4 dungeons. I always said that the perfect Zelda game would be a combination of the epic storytelling from Wind Waker, the awesome level design from Twilight Princess, the side quests and gameplay of Majora's Mask, and the epic epicness of Ocarina of Time. Droll. At number 2, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Released in the US in 1992, we got to see Zelda the way it was supposed to be played on the Super Nintendo. Due to the limitations of the NES, The Legend of Zelda was meant for something more. And A Link to the Past was that game. The story explained the land of Hyrule, the story of Ganon, the gameplay, the items, the characters, the light world, the dark world, the grass, the trees, the birds, the bees, bottles! Bottles! Did I say bottles? Bottles, for God's sakes! What feature in A Link to the Past is not used in Zelda anymore? Yeah, I couldn't think of anything either. Even though it was released in the first year of the Super Nintendo, it is considered to be the best SNES game ever. And speaking of impact, this game is the true legend of them all. At number 1, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. In November of 1998, we were all in anticipation. We were reading all the rumors, dissecting every picture to see what the storyline would be. We awaited this game. It was 5 years since the last game, Link's Awakening. It was the most anticipated game at that time. The bar at the time was never set so high. At the time of release, there was no game better. The gameplay, the overworld, the mood, I can go on and on about it. I can practically write a book. Going back and forth between time was mind-boggling. The original storyline of the Triforce has never been surpassed. And talk about impact, almost every Zelda game references the events of the Hero of Time, even A Link to the Past. It is the staple. It is the one game that they all try to beat. There is a reason why the game is considered the best game of all time by many. It's freaking Ocarina of Time. I'll say it again. It's freaking Ocarina of Time. 13 years later and a re-release on the 3DS, this game is known as the greatest Zelda game of all time. And that is my list for the top 10 Zelda games of all time. I really hope you enjoyed the list, and I did a lot of research for the list, so hopefully you guys like it. So, what are your favorite Zelda games? Was I close? I hope you're all excited for the Skyward Sword, which is released today! And I'm sort of wondering, where is it going to go on the list? Will it reach number 1? I guess we'll find out. Please subscribe and share this video with your friends. And also, I made a fan game called The Legend of Zelda: The Hero of Dreams, and if you haven't played it, it's free. I hope you can try it out, and until next time, this is MBW Champion.